This WBTV high-definition program is sponsored by Time Warner Cable. WBTV News at 6 starts right now.
We pay more for insurance than we do for our mortgage, but we're healthy people.
Tonight, a very personal health care crisis. A husband and wife blindsided by their insurance company. At least one of them will have to give up their own coverage just so they can afford a policy for their infant daughter.
But first at 6 o'clock, inside the police reports. They are two of our area's most notorious cases: the rape and murder of a pregnant teen and the plot to abduct a little girl and hold her for ransom. Tonight, these search warrants painting graphic pictures, offering disturbing details. Hello, and thanks for being with us. I'm Maureen O'Boyle.
And I'm Paul Cameron. Welcome, everyone. First, a kidnapping plot that left a community on edge. An illegal immigrant and his alleged plot to snatch a little girl and hold her for ransom. WBTV's Molly Grantham on your side. She's live in our newsroom. Molly, details of this search warrant not likely to make parents feel any better about this.
No, I don't think they will, Paul, but at least police broke this thing up before it was too late. The suspect's name, Ruben Garcia Rosario, was an illegal from Mexico. Police say if he would have kidnapped his intended target, that little girl would have ended up dead. Police picked up Garcia Rosario late last month after some kids noticed him snapping pictures at a school bus stop in Cornelius. Investigators say he wanted to snatch one of those little girls and hold her for ransom. That child's family hired him to paint their house earlier this year. And now that we have the warrant, now we know it says Garcia Rosario confessed to everything after he was arrested. Police say he told them he would have murdered the little girl anyway, even if her parents paid him the money. The warrant says he had a bunch of pictures of the little girl on his cell phone. A family rep did tell us that back then. And Paul, here is how serious Garcia Rosario was about making this happen. Listen to the list of things police found in his car: a gun, rubber gloves, duct tape, and a ski mask. And if Garcia Rosario ever got his hands on that money, investigators say he would have skipped town and gone back to Mexico anyway after killing her. Back to you.
Molly, thank you. And don't forget that police tell us that Ruben Garcia Rosario was in cahoots working with someone else in this alleged kidnapping plot. Cops in Texas arrested his estranged wife. They say she played a role in planning this thing.
A pregnant teen pressured to have a back alley abortion just weeks before she was gunned down at her school bus stop. This search warrant offering disturbing insight into the final months of young Tiffany Wright's life. The warrant also shedding new light on why police say Royce Mitchell should be charged with rape. According to this report, Mitchell tried to force his 15-year-old adopted sister to have an abortion, drove her to a clinic. Doctors wouldn't perform the abortion because Wright was too far along in her pregnancy. The police report also claims Mitchell tried to pressure Tiffany to have that late-term abortion performed by a non-medical professional, basically a home abortion. Tiffany was 8 months pregnant when she was murdered. Police initially charged Royce Mitchell with statutory rape, but the DA dropped those charges after DNA tests proved he was not the baby's father. Police say he is still a person of interest in her murder. He'll be in court tomorrow for a detention hearing in a separate case, and he could be set free.
Slashing executive pay. The Obama administration now ordering the top 25 highest paid execs at Bank of America and other companies to cut their executive pay by up to 90%. According to the Wall Street Journal, B of A pays its top 25 executives an average of nearly $7 million apiece. Do the math. That means those execs stand to lose $6.3 million each. Their paychecks dropping to $700,000. Bank of America CEO Ken Lewis already will not collect his paycheck this year. That was also an idea from the pay czar. Meanwhile, Bank of America's once secret files continue to trickle out, along with new, even more damning evidence against top bank execs. The latest documents show some board members, they have actually taken the, quote, screw the shareholders approach to the Merrill Lynch takeover. Bloomberg just got its hands on a stack of executive emails, and they show just how early B of A actually became aware of Merrill's mounting losses. November 5th, an email from the bank's chief accounting officer, quote, read and weep. The email estimated Merrill's losses through October at more than $5 billion. That's important because that's a full month before B of A shareholders voted to green-light the deal. And yet the investors were kept in the dark. Another email, December 7th, from Merrill's chief accounting officer to B of A execs. 3 words. What a disaster. Attached to the email were Merrill's financials through December 5th, the day of the merger. Shareholders finally got that info in mid-December around the 15th. And by then, look, Merrill's fourth quarter losses swollen to over $15.8 billion. More top B of A officials will soon have a chance to explain who knew what and when they knew it. Two bank board members, Chad Gifford and Thomas May, about to testify before Congress. Incidentally, these are the two who traded the infamous screw the shareholders emails 2 weeks after the merger. Stay tuned. Their testimony coming up tomorrow.
While the health care debate continues on Capitol Hill, families are struggling and waiting for some type of relief. In Hickory, we found a family that's healthy, yet paying big bucks for private health insurance. WBTV's Steve Onesorge on your side with their story now.
Heather Street got a big dose of sticker shock when the new bill for her daughter's health insurance came this week.
It was $171.55 a month, and it's going up to $263.44 in January.
That's a 55% increase for the 1-year-old, and little Bree hasn't been sick at all, not even the typical ear infection. Never any problems?
No problems.
No reason for that rate to go up?
No reason.
Blue Cross would only tell her the increase was to keep up with the cost of health care. She was not being singled out. Premiums for everyone were going up. But that's no consolation, she says, with the latest increase and what they are paying for her and her husband's insurance.
We pay more for insurance than we do for our mortgage, but we're healthy people.
And they don't know where to turn. I spoke with the North Carolina Insurance Commissioner's office this afternoon about the situation. They told me that they do have a say in the rates for homeowner policies, automobile policies, and workman's comp. But when it comes to rates for health insurance, there's not a lot they can do. Kristen Milam told us as long as it is a valid policy from a licensed company and is not discriminatory, we don't have a say in the rates. Heather says she and her husband are thinking of dropping their own policies to keep the baby covered. They are hoping the debate in Washington will lead to a solution. They don't want a government takeover, but for the baby's sake, they hope something is done.
I'm not sure what the right answer is, but all I know is that it's definitely something different than what they're able to do right now.
For the moment, they will keep their own policies in force and see what happens in Congress. In Hickory, Steve Onesorge, WBTV, on your side.
What a gorgeous little baby girl. A House committee just voted to strip the health insurance industry of its exemption from federal antitrust laws. In short, that means the federal government would finally have greater regulation over the insurance industry, including rate hikes.
Coming up next at 6, Latinos in America.
A local teacher makes her debut on national television. Coming up, why she was chosen for a CNN documentary.
In one end and out the other. A speeding car takes a detour through a family's living room and winds up in the back porch. That's next.
And I'm meteorologist Eric Thomas. For the 4th straight morning, we were in the 30s. That hasn't happened very often this time of the year. We'll let you know how long we're going to stay in this. And what about that weekend rain? It's all coming up in your weather alert forecast.
And I'm Tanya Bendixson with what's coming up for you new at 11 tonight. So far, the H1N1 virus has hit children the hardest, but experts say that may be about to change, and adults need to get ready. Plus, CMPD saturating one part of Charlotte tonight. We'll show you what they're looking for. And we'll have all your breaking news. Join us for WBTV on your side, new at 11.